Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In our previous class, we have been discussed about the gamete transfer and fertilization. So today's class, let us discuss about the difference between external fertilization and internal fertilization. Difference between external fertilization and internal fertilization. First difference is in external fertilization is fertilization occurs outside the body of the parents in water medium. So it is the first difference in external and internal fertilization means. So here the male and female they discharge their gamete in the water. In the water itself the fertilization it will be take place. That means it will take place outside the parent body. It will not take place fertilization. It will not help be inside the female body. It will be take place outside the body. Both the parents will discharge their gametes in the water medium. Which medium is water medium? Male will discharge the gametes in the water and female will discharge the gametes in the water. But in this case internal fertilization occurs inside the body of the female in the body fluid. So here fertilization where it will be appears means fertilization it will be take place inside the female body. Male will discharge the male gamete into the female genital tract and inside the female body. So the sperm they'll reaches towards the egg and it will fertilization it will be take place. So like that here in the fertilization here it will be take place inside the female body. This is the first difference between the external and internal fertilization. So fertilization it will take place outside the female body. Here it will take place inside the female body. Next difference, the chance of fertilization is less here. So because here the chance of fertilization is less. Chance means here both male and female they discharge the gametes in the water. So inside the water the male and female gamete they have to fuse here. It may be fused or it may not be fused. So the chances of fertilization is very less it is here. But here chances of fertilization it is more because there is no other option for the destroying of the sperm. So 100% fertilization it will be take place. But here 100% fertilization it will take place we can't predict here because that first sperms which are egg which has been discharged by the parents it may get damaged or it may get eaten by the some other or many other cases it may be happen. So 100% it is not possible. Chances of fertilization here it is less. But here 100% what happen is fertilization it will be take place. There is more chances of fertilization. Next difference what here means more number of male and female gametes are formed. So in external the organisms which are going for external fertilization both male and female they'll discharge the gametes in large number. So both male will also discharge the gametes in large number. Female will also discharge the gametes in large number because chance of fertilization is less. So that's why here plenty of gametes they will be discharged. In that plenty of gametes, so there is a chance of fission only 2 or 3 or 5 it may be happen. That's all. So that's why here remaining all the gametes what happen it will get destroyed. So that's why here so what happen is both the parents male and female they discharge the gametes in small not in small quantity they discharge in large number they will discharge. But in this case what happen means internal fertilization. So male gametes will be discharged in large number. Male will discharge the gametes in a large number, whereas female it will discharge only very less number of gametes here. So female will discharge very less number of gametes, male will discharge more number of gametes because female gametes will present inside the female body. So there is less chance of damaging of the female gametes. So that's why they will produce very less number of gametes. But in this case here more number of gametes will be produced and what happen is fertilization it will be take place. Here both male and female they will produce a large number of gametes. Here less number of gametes it will be produced. Next fourth difference what is offsprings are vulnerable to the predators. Offsprings are vulnerable to the predators. Vulnerable means what is offsprings are it may be exposed to the predators. Vulnerable means what here exposed or even we can tell it as a harmed. So male will also discharge the gametes in the water, female will also discharge the gametes in the water and that gametes it may get eaten by the some other organisms. The organisms which is eaten by the another organism. So such organism we are called as a predator. So predator they offsprings it may be eaten by the another organism. So that's why offsprings are vulnerable to the predator. So when the male and female gametes it will fuse together and convert into the zygote and later fertilization does convert into the zygote, and what happens is it will start for developing into the young one. That time they may be eaten by the predators, or the gametes may be eaten by the predators, or gamete may be damaged by the some other situation. So that's why offsprings are always vulnerable to the predators. But here offsprings are protected by the parents here. So offsprings are highly protected here. So but in this case here, offsprings is protected by the female mother. So our mother will be guards this offspring. So there is no chance of what means to attack of a predator. But here there is a chance of attack of a predator, because here the parents are not giving parents are not protecting their offspring. But here female they are giving protection to the offspring. Here female she is not giving any protection to the offspring. So that's why here there is a chance of what is vulnerable to the predators. Example what is bonifacius. Example for this is bonifacius, frog, algae. So these are all the examples for what is external fertilization. Whereas example for internal fertilization is plants, birds, reptiles and mammals. So these are all the examples for what here internal fertilization. Even we human beings also, we are performing which type of fertilization is internal fertilization. So inside the female body only offsprings it will get developed and it will get protected by the mother. So this is the difference between the external fertilization and internal fertilization. So related to this topic, one question will be there, and which type of question it will be arises we can't predict. They may be asked the difference between the external fertilization or internal fertilization, or as I said you here yesterday, write a note on external fertilization or write a note on internal fertilization or write a note on fertilization. They may be asked. So like that such type of questions may be arises. Next we'll go to the next topic. Next topic is parthenogenesis. This is one of the important question. Repeatedly they will ask for the exam for 1 mark question. So parthenogenesis. What is the meaning of parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis means another term what means virgin birth we are calling. What is the meaning of parthenogenesis? Means virgin birth. Parthenogenesis means the process of development of unfertilized egg into an individual is called as parthenogenesis. Till now what we have discussed means, so if any offsprings want to born here means, or if any individual want to born means, how it will be born means to the sexual reproduction means by the fission of male and female gamete. Male and female gamete both they will fuse together and they will convert into the zygote. Later it will develop into a young ones. But in this case here parthenogenesis, so without the fission of a male gamete, so only with the help of a single gamete. Which gamete? Only the egg. So with the help of only single gamete, so this egg it will be developed into a new individual. This egg it will be converted into the new individual. How means without fertilization. Without fertilization this egg it will not fuse with the sperm. Egg will not fuse with the sperm. Keep remember this one. Egg will not fuse with the sperm. Without fusion directly the egg it will be developed into the individual due to the influence of the hormones. How it will be converted means due to the influence of the hormones. Here hormones plays a very important role. So now egg it has not fertilized here, so that's why that type of egg we are calling it as a unfertilized. Fertilization means fission of male and female gamete. Here it has not fused with the sperm, so that's why we are calling it as an unfertilized egg without fusion. So that's why this is the unfertilized egg. So the unfertilized egg into an individual, so without fertilization is called as parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis we are calling. Or else another one definition is that you can write here, the egg develops into an embryo without fertilization is called parthenogenesis. Or else you can write this one also, whichever you like you can go through that definition. So both are use the same meaning. So another one definition what here? Another one definition, egg develops into an embryo or new individual without fertilization. Without fertilization is called parthenogenesis. This is also another one definition. Either you can write this one or you can write this one or. whichever you can easy for you, that you may write here. So egg develops into an embryo. A new individual without the fertilization is called as parthenogenesis. Now parthenogenesis, it is first discovered by whom? Is it is discovered by one of the person by name, call it as a Charles Bonnet. So parthenogenesis process, it was first discovered by a person name, call it as a Charles Bonnet. In which year? Means in 1745. Parthenogenesis, first it is discovered by Charles Bonnet in 1745. So in which animal? Means it is discovered in animals. Which animals? Means it is discovered in the aphid. Which animal? Means aphid. So he discovered this process in the aphid in 1745. Later the name parthenogenesis, it is given by the Richard Owen. Coined means what here? Naming. So naming for that Richard Owen. So namkarna, naming ceremony will do for the small babies. So in the same manner, so for this process parthenogenesis, it is given by whom? It is given by the Richard Owen. In which year? Means in 1948 he given the name here. So example for this parthenogenesis are rotifers are going for the parthenogenesis, arthropoda, crustacean and honeybees. In honeybees here means drones, because honeybees, it is a colony here, so it contains the queens, drones, workers, all they will be present here. Drones, formation of a drones in the honeybee colony. Then molluscas, lizard, birds such like a turkey bird, all of you have been heard. So this bird will also go for the parthenogenesis. So these are all are the examples for what here means parthenogenesis. So this is about the parthenogenesis, which may be here the question may be arises for your board exam. Define parthenogenesis. What is parthenogenesis? In many question papers they have been given, and even in your last year also you have been studied this process. Next, parthenogenesis is two types. One is the natural parthenogenesis, another one is the artificial parthenogenesis. It is important for your NEET. It is most important for your NEET. So but not for your board exam. So the NEET students, those are going for attaining the NEET here, they have to read this topic, parthenogenesis, types of parthenogenesis, artificial and natural parthenogenesis. In that further types are present here, so that later the NEET student they will read. Next topic, let us go. Next topic is post-fertilization event. Next, let us discuss the post-fertilization event. This is the last event in the sexual reproduction. So first event was pre-fertilization, second event fertilization, and third event is post-fertilization event. So let us discuss what is the meaning of post-fertilization event. The event in sexual reproduction after the formation of zygote is called as post-fertilization. That means here this event it will be held after the formation of zygote. When the zygote it will get formed after the fertilization. So after the fertilization, when the male and female gamete it will fuse together, it will be forms a zygote. As the zygote it will forms, later the post-fertilization event it will be held. In this event it has been classified into the two types. One is the zygote, another one is the embryogenesis. So first type is zygote, second after that will come here embryogenesis. First let us discuss about the zygote. So what is the meaning of a zygote? So as you know very well here, how the zygote it will be formed. Zygote is a diploid structure. So zygote what here? It is a diploid structure which will get formed by through the fusion of male and female gamete. How the zygote it has been formed here? By the fusion of male and female gamete. Male and female gamete. Male will also be in haploid in condition, female will also be in a haploid in condition. Both they will fuse together and they will form a zygote. Now this zygote formation it will be differ in one organism to the another organism. So example we will take the algae and fungi. So algae and fungi, they will also produce the gametes. They undergo the fertilization method. After fertilization they will convert into the zygote. Now in the algae and fungi, this zygote it will form a thick wall. This zygote what will forms here? Suppose this is a zygote, means this zygote it will forms a thick wall like this. Around the zygote it will form a thick wall which is resistant to desiccation and damage here. So they will form a thick wall formation which will be gives the protection for this zygote. So away from the damage and the desiccation here. Any damage or if any predator say comes for attack, so will this the resistance wall, it will thick wall, it will give the protection for this zygote. Later this zygote it will produce as the spores, and that spores what we are calling, that spores we are calling it as a zygospores. That spores what we are calling, that spores we are calling as a zygospores, and there is the suitable environment means these spores it will be comes out and develops into a new individual. It undergoes a period of rest by before germination. Before these spores it will liberate here, this zygote it will go for the resting period here. After the resting period it will finish, they will produces the, so they liberates the spores. What we call that spores means that spores we are calling it as a zygospores. Now in this manner, in few organisms like algae and fungi, they will form a zygote by forming a thick wall covering which is giving the protection for this zygote. Whereas in some organisms like haplantic life cycle, in some organisms what happening is like Volvox and Spirogera, in some organisms like what happens Volvox and Spirogera, so they are undergoing the haplantic life cycle. That means here the zygote it will be in a diploid in condition. In these cases in Volvox and Spirogera, same manner male and female they produces the gametes, both the gametes will fuse together and convert into the zygote. Now the zygote it is in which condition? Zygote it is in a diploid in a condition. Now this zygote it will undergoes the division. Which type of division? Zygote it will undergoes the meiotic cell division. So meiotic means you know very well how many daughter cells will come here? 4 daughter cells, and they will be in a haploid in condition. So through that meiotic condition the spores it will get formed. Now that spores it will be in which manner? Haploid in condition. Now zygote it is in diploid condition, but through that zygote, through the meiosis cell division they will get the spores. That spores it is in which condition means they will be in a haploid in condition. Now that spores it will be developed into a new individual. That spores it will develop into a which individual means it will be developed into a new individual. Now this spores it will be in a haploid in condition. Next again same manner it will get continue. Now haploid individual, so that's why we are called as a haplantic life cycle. Now these individuals they produces the gametes here, both the gametes it will be haploid in condition, both the gametes will fuse together, convert into a zygote, they'll form a diploid condition, diploid zygote. This diploid zygote it will undergo the meiosis and it will produce the haploid spores, and haploid spores it will develop into a haploid individual. So in this manner life cycle it will be going on. Next examples we have is Volvox and Spirogera. These are organisms, they'll perform this type of zygote formation. Next, whereas in some cases in some organisms like gymnosperm and angiosperm, so the organisms are diploidic in condition, they are undergoing the diploidic condition, the body will be in a diploidic condition. These organisms that produces the gametes which will be in a haploid in condition, both they will get fused in condition, convert into the zygote. Now this zygote it will goes for the mitosis cell division and produces the diploid individual. They will go which type of division here? Mitosis. There the meiosis, here through the mitosis the zygote it will be divided here, and they will produces the offsprings, and they will be in which condition means diploid individual they will be present. Examples for them are gymnosperm and angiosperm. So in this manner in a few organisms they will go for the what is formation of the zygote. In different organism different type of zygote formation it will be taken place. Next let us go to the next topic, embryogenesis. Next one is embryogenesis. Next is embryogenesis. Embryogenesis means the process of development of embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. So as you all of you know that, so how the zygote formation it will be taken place. So zygote formation it will be taken place due to the fusion of male and female gamete, and male and female gamete fuse together it will convert into the zygote. Now later this zygote it will start for division and it will convert into the embryo. This process we are calling it as a embryogenesis. The process of development of a embryo from zygote. Through the zygote, there will be a formation of embryo, and that process we are calling it as a embryogenesis, formation of embryo. So that's why the name also we are giving it as a embryogenesis. Now this embryogenesis, it is characterized by two things. Which are those two things? Means one is the growth, another one is the differentiation. This is important point, keep remember this one. So embryogenesis is characterized by two things. Which are those? Means one is the growth, another one is the differentiation. So how? Means just now I will tell you here. Now see, this is the zygote. So you know very well, when male and female they will fuse together, it will convert into the zygote. Now this zygote, it will undergoes the division. This zygote, what it will do? It will undergoes the division. Which division? Mitosis cell division. It will going for undergo the it is undergoing the mitosis cell division. As the mitosis cell division means, you know, one cell it will convert into the two cells, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. In that manner, what happen? The cells it will be go on multiplying, and the mass of cells for formation it will be taken place. So like this. So zygote, it has been started to divide with cell division, mitosis cell division, and due to that mitosis cell division, what happened? The mass of cell it has been formed here. So this mass of cells it has been increases. It will be gone increasing. So that's why now this is we are characterized as a growth. This is we are considering it as a growth, which will helps for the growth of the embryo. So as the embryo want to develop means cells want to increase. As the cells will increase, the embryo size will also be gone increase. As the cells will be increased, the embryo size will also be gone increasing. Cells, how it will be increased? Cells it will be increased through the mitosis cell division. So mitosis cell division it will start from the zygote. Now the what happened means number of cells it has been started to grow here. So it may leads to the growth of the embryo. So that's why the first characteristics of the embryogenesis is growth. So growth has been taken place. So due to that one they are getting the shape of a young ones. Now next is the differentiation. Due to this differentiation, what happened here means embryo, the mass of cells which is present, all these cells they will undergo the differentiation, and it will convert into the specialized tissue. Specialized tissue, organs, organ systems. Organ system of an organism. What they are telling means as the growth of cells it has been taken place. Now all these cells are similar in structure, function, all these things. But as soon as the cells it will be grown here, growth number of cells it has been started to multiply here, it will enters into the differentiation process. What is the meaning of differentiation? Means now how many cells are present? So in among these here, so a few cells they will get the few type of shape, which are the RLs here, the cells which are present here, these cells they will get the different shape, different structure, and different size and different origin to perform their role. Like how here, example I will tell you here. So when you are studying in, now you are, I assume that now you are studying a second PUC. Now all your PCM students, PCMB students here. After finishing your second PUC, all of you will not go to the same course. Among them, some you will join for the engineering, some they will go for the doctor, some they will go for the degree. So like that you will go for various courses in the same manner. Now all these cells are exactly similar to each other, but they will go for the differentiation process. As they go for the differentiation process, what happens is, so among the few cells they will convert into the another one type of cells. Few cells will convert into the another one type of cells. Few cells they will convert into the another type of cells. Like how few cells will perform the role of the brain, few cells will perform the role of the heart, few cells will perform the role of the kidney, skin, bones. So like that completely they will form say varieties of specialized tissue, and that tissues they will join together to form a organ, and that organ it will form say organ system. So due to that one completely one new offspring it will get a form. So that's why embryogenesis it is characterized by two things here. Which are those? Means one is the growth and differentiation. Due to these two process only complete embryogenesis process it will be held. First it will be taken place the growth, later after the growth growth, differentiation it will be taken place. So due to the differentiation, the organism they'll get the all these varieties of parts in the womb of the mother, and later they'll get development it will be held. So like that here embryogenesis it will be taken place. Now based on the development of this embryo, based on the development of this embryo, we have been classified into the three types here. On what basis here means this we have been classified into the three types. Which are those three types means based on the development of a zygote. So animals are classified into three types. Which are those means one is based on development of a zygote or else say embryo. Based on the development of the embryo, so it has been classified into three types here. Which are those means one is oviparous animals, viviparous animals, and third one is oviviviparous animals. So like that we are classified into the three types here. So oviparous, viviparous and oviviviparous animals. Let us know one by one here. First let us know the what is the meaning of oviparous animals. So these are the animals which lays eggs. These are the animals what they will do means which lays eggs are called oviparous animals. So here the development of embryo take place inside the egg. Development of embryo take place inside the egg. Such type of animals we are going to say oviparous animals. These animals will lay the egg. So there you may get the confusion. See O it will comes. It is the shape of a egg. So that's why it will lay the egg. So like this you can keep the hint and it may be, you can remember this one. Oviparous means the animals which lays the egg is called as oviparous animals. Here the development of embryo where it will take place means it will take place inside the egg. Example for this are fishes, amphibians, reptiles, arthropoda, birds. So these are the example. Now second type is viviparous animal. Viviparous animals. So here the name itself it shows viviparous means these animals they will give birth to the young one. These animals which gives birth to young ones. Young ones are called viviparous animals. So here development of embryo take place inside the womb of the mother and derives nourishment through the placenta. This is important thing. So these animals will give birth to the young ones here. So development where it will be taken place? Development of embryo take place inside the womb of the mother. Inside the womb of a mother. And they are deriving, and how they are getting the nutrition means they are getting the nourishment through placenta. So placenta is a connection. Placenta it is a connection between the mother and the embryo here. So through that the mother it will be providing the nourishment to the young one. Through this placenta the embryo it will get all the nutrients. Here how they are getting the nourishment here means so through their inside the egg, through the yolk they will get the nourishment they will get here. So like this here what happened means this is the difference between oviparous and viviparous. Examples what here means all mammals including man also, human. So next this is the second type is over. Next third type is oviviparous animal. This is the third type, oviviparous animal. These animals give birth to the young ones. What is the speciality means? The animals will give birth to young ones. Animals give birth to the young ones without provide any nutritional support. So here development of embryo take place inside the egg. Development of embryo take place inside the eggs with the expense of yolk. So this is about here what is oviparous animals. So these animals also give birth to the young ones, like viviparous animals will give birth to the young ones. Viviparous also animals will give birth to the young ones. These animals will also give birth to the young ones, but without providing any nutritional support here. So here mother it is not giving any support. Mother it is not providing any nutritional support for the embryo. But in viviparous animals, mother it is supplying the nutritional support to the young ones through the connection of placenta. Placenta is a connection which will be present between the embryo and the mother. But here there is no placenta. Such type of connection it is not there. So without any connection here the mother it is not providing any nutritional support. Without any nutritional support, it is giving birth to the young ones. Then how that young ones are getting that nourishment means? So they are getting this egg. It contains a large number of expensive yolk it is present. They are having the what here? Large number of expensive yolk it is present. Which animals with the help of this only they get the nourishment, like how in oviparous animals inside the egg only they'll get the nourishment. In the same manner these animals also they'll get the nourishment through that only. So example for this is, so that's why the name it is showing. It is showing the character of oviparous also. It is showing the characters of viviparous also. So that's why the name we have been given it as a oviviparous animal. Example for this is shark, electric ray, scorpion, etc. So these are the animals which are oviviparous animals. In this manner embryogenesis it will take place in the animals. Next, if you come to the plants, if you come for the plants, in flowering plants, what happen? After the fertilization, zygote grows inside the ovule. So after fertilization what happen? So zygote, where it will grows? Zygote grows inside the ovule. Zygote, where it will grows here? Zygote it will grows inside the ovule. So ovule by form is mitosis cellulation. Through mitotic division to form what here? Multicellular embryo. So already I have been studied the structure of the stigma. Carpel. This is the structure of the carpel. This is the stigma, style, ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. Now here the inside this ovary who will be present? Ovule will be present. Inside that who will be present? Ovule will be present. Like this, the ovule will be present here. This you will later study in your second chapter, structure of ovule, which is one of the guarantee question for your exam. So related 5 marks question, 100% it will appear this question. So this is the inside this is the ovule. Now zygote formation, where it will be taken place means zygote formation, it will take place inside this ovule. Inside this ovule, so zygote has been formed here. So in your previous classes, first year you have been studied about the double fertilization. Double fertilization means, so the pollen grains, it will release the 2 male gametes, isn't it? We have been studied about the pollen tube, all these things. It will produce, it will shed the 2 male gametes like this. Finally, the pollen tube, it will reach us towards here, and the 2 male gametes, it will take entry into this ovule in this manner. So, like this, the structure, embryo structure I am showing here. So inside the embryo sacs, like this, 7 cells are present. Inside this embryo sacs, how many cells are present? 7 cells are present. So among that here, so 2 male gametes it will present. First male gamete fused with the egg. Which is the egg? This is the egg. First male gamete fused with the egg. These two are the what we are calling it as a synergid cells, and these 3 are we are calling it as a antipodal, and this is we are calling it as a secondary nucleus. So like this structure which is present here, I have been enlarged and I have been shown here. So double fertilization is studied here. First male gamete fused with the egg. It will come and fused with the egg like this. 2 male gametes will come and fused with that, and it will form a zygote. Second male gamete fused with this secondary nucleus and forms a pen. Pen means primary endosperm nucleus. So that is nothing but primary. Later, this zygote, it will develop into the embryo, and this it will develop into the endosperm. So all this process where it will be held inside this ovule. So all this process where it will be held inside this ovule. Now this embryo, it will be gone dividing. Embryogenesis, like what just now I said here, zygote will be start for dividing, mitosis, cell division. Just now as I said you in the here, zygote what happened? Zygote start for division. Which cell division? Mitosis, cell division, and a group of cells it will get formed. Embryo formation it will be taken place. Just now as I said you in animals, same manner here also. A mass of cells it will be taken place. That is nothing but we are calling it as a growth. Next, later what happened? After that, differentiation it will be taken place. Differentiation means all these cells will get a particular structure, shape, origin, all these things to perform their role. So due to that, one few cells there becomes a parenchyma, few collenchyma, few sclerenchyma, like that they'll get differentiated and they'll form a complete structure of the baby plant. Next, later what happen here means it will get formed here. And for them, how they are getting the nourishment means the into the endosperm. So this embryo, if they want to development, who is providing the nourishment means to the endosperm. So they are using this endosperm layer as a food material, as a nutritive material, and with the long they will be gone consuming this endosperm. Endosperm, what happen? They will be gone consuming. So finally, after this process, what happen here means this ovule, it will convert into the seed. This ovule, it will convert into the seed, and the ovary part which is present here, this ovary part, it will convert into the fruit. So this ovary part, what it contains, it will convert into the fruit. And even what happen means, so the seed which is present, ovule which is present here, inside this seed, when the seed ovule convert into the seed, this seed, it contains the plumule and radicle. It develops here, say what here, parts called it as a plumule and radicle. What it will develop? Plumule and radicle it will develop here. So through the plumule, shoot system it will get developed. Through the plumule, shoot system will get developed. Shoot system will get developed. From the radical, root system will get developed, as we have been studied. So we will convert into the seed. Now if we take that seed and if we sow inside the soil humus, so completely will get a new plant, new baby plant, it will get developed here. So by this, inside the seed will be present, plumule and radical it will be present. In your first year also you have started, discuss the structure of the what here? Discuss the structure of the seed. We have been studied the structure of the seed. In that seed part we will find the plumule and radical part we will find. So plumule, when we sow the seed inside the soil, after the germination, plumule part it will develop into the shoot system. That means here stem, leaf, flower, branches, all these things. Whereas radical part it is present, so root system it will be present. In this manner, in the what happen here is plants will find the embryogenesis. So whether it may be a plant or whether it may be animal, so embryogenesis means it contains the what here means growth and differentiation process it will be held. So in the there also same manner, here also same manner it will be held. Remaining we'll do in the next class.